What is up, everyone? JGait is here, and I'm back with another episode of JGait Sports Talk. I'm not going to keep you today for too long, but I got a lot to talk about, and I'm going to put it in the best way I can. So let's get to it. First off, we're going to start with the NFL. Last night's game, Monday Night Football. Carolina Panthers beat the Washington Redskins 26-15. My boy Cam Newton, he did pretty well. 21 for 37, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, can't go wrong there. Kirk Cousins was a little bit better, however. He was 32 for 47 for 315 yards. But the talk of that game was when in the second quarter, Newton, on a scramble, Newton was hit in the head by Trent Murphy, and he was flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. And there are people saying that, Cam Newton's not like any other quarterback. Like, he's out of the pocket. And I agree with that. Cam Newton is not like any other quarterback. He's very versatile. But he's obviously pissed off that he doesn't get protected when he is in the pocket. But I don't know. That's just the way it is. Now, if the NFL wants to do something about it, they're more than welcome to. But it's up to Cam to do what he does best. And that is to win ball games. Okay, moving on. We are going to be heading to the Buccaneers and the Cowboys last night. Now that was a great game overall. Dallas won 26-20. They improved to 12-2. Their only 2 losses of the season are against the New York Giants, which is pretty shocking, I must say. Dak Prescott, dynamite performance, 32 for 36, 279 yards. He also had a rushing touchdown. The Cowboys are on fire this season. And who could forget that moment when Ezekiel Elliott, after scoring a rushing touchdown, he ran into the giant Salvation Army kennel. And surprisingly, he did not get fined for that. Which I must say I was shocked, because a lot of people are talking about, the NFL is a no-fun league. They don't like any fun of that. Yep, it's all bullcrap. Sometimes you just gotta let loose and have fun. I can understand some of Antonio Brown's celebrations, like the twerking and stuff, but with the Salvation Army thing, it was for a good cause anyways. So, you can't go wrong there. Now, Ezekiel Elliott rushed for 159 yards, which is why I mentioned that, because that guy is on a roll. His 13th rushing touchdown of the year. That guy has really proven to a lot of Cowboy fans that he's an equation of what this team is all about. America's team has been revitalized, basically. And Dak Prescott could take the Cowboys all the way. He's really shown that he is a great quarterback. But at the same time, I feel kind of bad for Tony Romo, because he was at the helm that team for so long, and I just hope he goes to a decent team next year if he continues to play. But okay, moving on. Last game for the NFL before we move on. Oakland Raiders beat San Diego Chargers 19-16. Derek Carr, I would say this game wasn't really much about him. He was only 19 for 30 for 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Phillip Rivers, same for the Chargers, 17 for 30, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But what's amazing is the Raiders, they're advancing to the playoffs for the first time since 2002. And this is their first time having a winning season since 2002. And I congratulate the Raiders organization on that accomplishment. I know that Raider Nation fans are ecstatic. Derek Carr, he's done a phenomenal job throughout the season. I mean, just great overall. All right, leaving the NFL, we are going to be moving on to the NBA. Last night, Atlanta Hawks beat Oklahoma City Thunder 110-108. That was a big shock because Atlanta, even though they started the season off great, they've been the rest of the way. I mean, not going to say much more about it, but very close game. Westbrook, again, you got MVP performance out of him. 46 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, who knows if this dude is going to average a triple-double all season. I hope he does. I really do. It'd be amazing to see for the first time since the legendary Oscar Robertson in 1961-62. Okay, moving on. We're going to be talking about the game which I watched Timberwolves and the Suns. Timberwolves won 115-108. Key performances: Karl Anthony Towns, 28 points, 15 rebounds. Zach LaVine, 23 points. And Andrew Wiggins, 26 points. And I think I said it before in an earlier episode. This is a great team overall. They just need to improve on their defense. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, he's a big guy. He's going to get it done in the paint, but, I mean, those guys really have to work on their defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ricky Rubio was traded at the end of the season because he didn't really turn out the player that he was deemed to be. Just not much excitement from him. But I'm not going to say much more. Alright, I'm not going to be talking about, for the last topic in the NBA, I'm not going to be talking about a particular game. I'm going to be talking about Tim Duncan. A few nights ago, Spurs retired his number. That dude has had a phenomenal career. Played his whole career for the San Antonio Spurs, 1997 to 2016. In that span, 5 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, 15-time All-Star, and 2 MVPs to add to his career. His whole career, he was under Greg Popovich's coach, Greg Popovich's control. I mean, that guy, he really showed what a basketball player can do in that amount of time. I mean, he had a little help with David Robinson, the Admiral, but just a great career overall. And I applaud him for that. So, my best wishes to you, Tim Duncan. And amazing thing is, he was a quiet guy. He never took any endorsements. He just did his work on the basketball court. And that's unbelievable. All right. Moving on. We're moving on to the world of boxing. Saturday's HBO fight. Bernard Hopkins versus Joe Smith Jr. If you were watching that fight, you know what happened. Fight went 8 rounds, and it ended in TKO when Joe Smith punched Bernard Hopkins out of the ring, and he fell on his head, and he was unable to continue. Now, this fight was for the WBC International Lightweight Heavyweight title. Correct me. The WC International Light Heavyweight title. But even though it didn't exactly end the way I would have hoped it would end, applause to Bernard Hopkins on such a long career. When he first began his pro boxing career, Ronald Reagan was the president. It's unbelievable. I mean, at 51 years old, I was shocked that he still wanted to fight. He's like an Iron Man. But Joe Smith Jr. won. Congrats to him. And that's all I'm going to say. And one thing I never knew was, I found out on the night of the fight that he was from Long Island, my hometown, where I'm from. That's all I'm going to say on that. But Bernard Hopkins, I respect you, respect your career. Even though the way you ended your career didn't turn out the way you would have hoped, you had a great career, and you should be thankful for that. Okay, before I end this episode of JGait Sports Talk, I'm just going to get into a little something here. I'm going to ask any viewer in here, should college players who are planning to go into the NFL skip bowl games? Now, a lot of you know Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey, they've decided to skip their respective bowl games to prepare for the NFL draft. What do you think about college players skipping bowl games? Do you think it's good for them, or is it bad? For me, I can't really say much, but that's the decision that they made. And I respect that 100%. Okay, that ends this edition of JGait Sports Talk. Until next time, peace out and happy holidays, everyone.